see China's reaction to a recent visit by a US speaker. Hello and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, we are N.D.P News, a channel dedicated to exploring the fascinating world of geopolitics and current international affairs with daily coverage. In an act that could potentially draw the ire of China, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy extended a warm welcome to Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen, referring to her as a great friend of America, for an important meeting that took place on U.S. soil. The meeting was attended by more than a dozen lawmakers from both the Democratic and Republican parties, including the House's third-ranking Democrat, and was held at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Southern California. Against the backdrop of rising tensions between the United States and China, the formalities of the meeting and the presence of some highly ranked elected officials in and of themselves posed a challenge to China's position, which maintains that any interaction between Taiwanese and U.S. officials challenges China's sovereignty over the island. The House Speaker McCarthy emphasized that he wanted the Taiwanese president to understand that the meeting was a bipartisan gathering of members of Congress and not affiliated with any one political party. He further stated that the U.S. and Taiwan would continue to collaborate and find ways to promote economic freedom, democracy, and stability in Asia. Initially, Beijing limited its response to relatively minor upticks in military activity near Taiwan, warning that it would take resolute measures in response to the provocation of the Tsai-McCarthy meeting, and imposing sanctions on the Reagan Library, the Hudson Institute, and their leadership for hosting meetings with Tsai. However, following Tsai's return to Taiwan, and more significantly French President Emmanuel Macron, and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen's visit to Beijing, China escalated its response by announcing 3-day live fire exercises surrounding Taiwan. China launched these military exercises in response to President Tsai's meeting with U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, which China had previously warned would provoke a furious response. Taiwan's defense ministry stated that China's deliberate action has endangered regional stability and caused tension in the Taiwan Strait. Nevertheless, external pressures will not stop Taiwan's determination to defend the country and move towards the world. The Biden administration claims that Tsai's visit, which is the latest of a half dozen, is not provocative. Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasized that the transits by high-level Taiwanese authorities are nothing new, as they are private and unofficial. Blinken urged Beijing not to use the transits as an excuse to escalate tensions, take any actions, or change the status quo. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby assured reporters that there is no need for China to overreact, and they will closely monitor the situation. Now, if you're enjoying the video, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. Now, let's get back into it. McCarthy stands up to China over Taiwan visit. McCarthy did not shy away from expressing his defiance towards Chinese officials' declaration that hosting Tsai violated the One China principle and the provisions of the 3 China-U.S. joint communiques. McCarthy, a representative from California, spoke at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California during the summit. "There is no place that China is going to tell me where I can go or who I can speak to, whether you be foe or whether you be friend," McCarthy boldly proclaimed. Later, in an interview on the Ingram Angle, McCarthy elaborated on his commitment to acting decisively in his role as third in line to the presidency, without regard for the whims and wishes of foreign governments. "As Speaker of the House, I'm going to meet with whoever we want to meet with, from whatever country," he declared, and went on to criticize American entities such as the National Basketball Association, NBA, for being too cozy with the Chinese Communist Party. "Look, I am not the general manager of the Houston Rockets," he quipped. "China is not going to intimidate us, and there is no better place to be than here at Reagan's Library and what it symbolizes." He also made it clear that he agreed with Chinese officials' reference to 3 official communiques, but pointed out that Washington established 6 assurances with Taipei during Reagan's presidency. McCarthy called the meeting with Tsai a moment of unity and bipartisanship. Both Republicans and Democrats were present, speaking with one voice. The speaker stated that the United States needed to increase weapon sales to Taiwan in order to allow them to defend themselves and deter China's potential military intervention. McCarthy also called for greater collaboration between the United States and Taiwan in fostering democracy and freedom, particularly in the economic sector, such as in chip manufacturing. Notably, the speaker pointed out that the meeting between himself and Tsai marked the first time a House Speaker had met with a Taiwanese president on U.S. soil. This was a significant moment in U.S.-Taiwan relations, demonstrating the strength of the two nations' alliance. Moreover, McCarthy praised Congress for standing up to China, particularly after the CCP's recent actions. He noted that every single member of Congress, both Republican and Democrat, denounced the CCP for its aggressive and authoritarian behavior. McCarthy emphasized that China needed to hear that the United States would not allow its allies to be bullied or dictated to, and that Congress would stand together to support those allies. Despite his infrequent involvement in foreign policy, McCarthy is working to encourage Republicans and Democrats to adopt a more assertive stance towards China. Since being elected as House Speaker, he has launched a select committee on China to investigate various aspects of China's actions both in the U.S. and overseas. In 1949, Taiwan and China split after a civil war and currently have no official relations. Currently, China regularly sends fighter planes and bombers near Taiwan to assert its position that Taiwan is obligated to unite with the mainland eventually, even by force. When President Jimmy Carter established diplomatic relations with the Beijing government, Congress reacted by enacting a law that ensured the U.S. would maintain close ties with Taiwan. Taiwanese officials in the U.S., as well as Taiwanese presidents on successive visits, strive to strike a delicate balance of fostering warm relations with their American allies, without overstepping their intermediary status in the U.S. or needlessly provoking China. As a result, the Taiwanese flag does not fly over the former Taiwan embassy in Washington, and Taiwanese presidents refer to their visits as transits instead. They avoid Washington on their itineraries and do not hold any public meetings between their high-ranking officials and those of the U.S. on American soil. Thanks for watching, and let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this new connection between the US and Taiwan. And make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. This has been N.D.P News, and we'll see ya in the next one.